Have you ever wondered how your body generates the energy needed to perform everyday tasks like walking, thinking, or even breathing? Well, the answer lies in a fascinating little organelle called the mitochondrion, often referred to as the powerhouse of the cell. The mitochondria play a key role in keeping our cells energized. But what makes these tiny structures so powerful? Let's explore the structure of mitochondria and understand how they fuel cellular respiration. To understand mitochondria, we first need to know what they do. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of our cells, generating most of the energy required for cellular activities. This energy is produced through a process called cellular respiration, which takes place within the mitochondria. They are essential for our survival, as without them, our cells would not have the energy to perform critical functions. But what exactly makes mitochondria so special? Let's dive into the details of their structure and function to uncover how they carry out this crucial process. Structure of mitochondria. Mitochondria are unique organelles with a structure that suits their function perfectly. They have two membranes, an outer membrane and an inner membrane. The outer membrane is smooth and acts as a barrier, separating the mitochondrion from the rest of the cell. The inner membrane, however, is more complex. It is folded into structures called cristae, which increase the surface area and allow for more efficient energy production. The space inside the inner membrane is known as the mitochondrial matrix, and it's where many of the reactions in cellular respiration take place. The mitochondria also contain their own DNA, which is quite unusual for a cell organelle. This unique feature allows mitochondria to replicate independently of the cell, which is a key characteristic that sets them apart from other organelles. Now we are going to study its role in cellular respiration. The role of mitochondria in cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is the process by which cells convert nutrients, primarily glucose, into energy. This energy is in the form of a molecule called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is used to power various cellular activities. The process takes place in several stages, most of which occur in the mitochondria. There are three main stages of cellular respiration: glycolysis, the citric acid cycle, also known as the Krebs cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation. Each of these stages plays a crucial role in breaking down glucose and harnessing its energy. But where do mitochondria come into play? Let's break down these stages in more detail to understand the mitochondria's role. Glycolysis. Glycolysis is the first step of cellular respiration, and it takes place in the cytoplasm, outside the mitochondria. During glycolysis, one molecule of glucose is broken down into two molecules of pyruvate, releasing a small amount of energy in the form of ATP. While glycolysis does not occur within the mitochondria, it is an essential precursor to the next steps of cellular respiration, which will take place inside the mitochondria. Next step is citric acid cycle. The citric acid cycle, Krebs cycle. Once glycolysis has broken down glucose into pyruvate, the pyruvate molecules are transported into the mitochondria, where the citric acid cycle takes place. In this cycle, the pyruvate is further broken down, and energy is extracted in the form of high-energy molecules like NADH and FADH2. These molecules are crucial for the next step in cellular respiration. The citric acid cycle involves a series of chemical reactions that take place in the mitochondrial matrix. Each reaction helps extract energy from the pyruvate, resulting in the production of ATP as well as other high-energy molecules. This cycle also produces carbon dioxide (CO2) as a waste product, which is then expelled from the body when we breathe out. Now let's move to the last stage, oxidative phosphorylation. The final stage of cellular respiration, oxidative phosphorylation, takes place in the inner mitochondrial membrane, specifically along the cristae. In this stage, the high energy molecules produced in the citric acid cycle, NASAs and FADH2, donate electrons to the electron transport chain ETC, a series of proteins embedded in the inner membrane. As electrons move through the electron transport chain, they release energy which is used to pump protons across the inner mitochondrial membrane. This creates a proton gradient with a higher concentration of protons in the space between the inner and outer mitochondrial membranes. The protons then flow back into the mitochondrial matrix through an enzyme called ATP synthase. As protons pass through ATP synthase, the enzyme uses their energy to produce ATP from ADP, adenosine diphosphate. This process, known as chemiosmosis, produces the majority of the ATP during cellular respiration. Oxygen plays a key role in this stage by acting as the final electron acceptor in the electron transport chain. Without oxygen, the entire process would come to a halt and cells would not be able to generate enough energy to survive. Now that we've explored the process of cellular respiration and the role of mitochondria, let's take a moment to discuss why ATP is so important. The importance of ATP. ATP is the primary energy currency of the cell, used to power everything from muscle contractions to protein synthesis to the transmission of nerve signals. Without ATP, cells would be unable to perform the vital functions required for life. Now, here's a question for you. How does the structure of the mitochondria enable it to efficiently carry out cellular respiration? Genius can answer in comments below.